Is this thing on? Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Let's get into the show, baby. This late stuff is a bunch of garbage. Baloney. Let's do it. Welcome, my fellow snobs and Babylon 5 fans. It's time for the Coming of Shadows, the Babylon 5 Retrospective. Hello and welcome. This week on the show, we're looking at Season 2, Episode 14, There All the Honor Lies. But before we get into it, I have to introduce my co-host, the man with all the tools. It's Cam. Say hello, Cam.
Good evening, Babylon 5 fans.
Good evening. Yes, good evening. We don't like to fool around on the show a little bit beforehand. We like to jump right into it. Cam, do you have anything we should mention, talk about before we jump right into the show?
Jason won't be with us this evening, unfortunately. He has other work obligations, I believe he said, on his show today.
All right.
And I have a few items, but I will save them to the end for previews for what we will be doing on another show.
So yes. Well, I would like to actually mention, just to give everybody a heads up, this I know we'll mention at the end too. This is probably, but this Sunday show is movie night again, and we're doing Dragon Slayer. So follow the links for the show on the channel and find out where you can watch it for free on Internet Archive or wherever else you want to watch it. And watch the movie so you can talk about it on this Sunday. So I will mention that at the beginning, but yeah. All right, let's jump into it right away. Let's bring in our other co-panelist. He is right now. He's snacking in the green room right now. I don't know. We got some Doritos and maybe some Yoo-hoo in there and stuff like that. I think he's eating away. But let's bring him on. Jeff, welcome.
Yeah. I ate all the green M&Ms.
Oh, green M&Ms. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we were supposed to take those out by contract.
No, I want nothing but green M&Ms.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll make sure. I'll get my people working on that in the future. And
you see, picking them out is like a mini game you get to do.
Yeah,
that's right. It's all fun. All right. So, shall we jump right into it, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Get right into the trivia, right? All right.
Let's do it.
Just check my trivia. Make sure I got the right. Okay, I think I got the right one up here. Looks good to go. Okay, let's just. Yeah. All right. Let's bring it up. Trivia from last week. Let's find. Just hammer out the answers in the chats. Yell them out if you're so inclined. Where's Kosh's ship docked on Babylon 5? Where does Sheridan say that Jacob might be hiding? What does Kosh want to teach Sheridan to do? How many times does Garibaldi, shoot Max before Max handed over the data crystal? That's a hard one. You got to count for that one.
Well, he didn't shoot Max at all.
Shoot at Max. Okay.
Oh,
well, you get limited things. Sometimes I shorten things.
Yeah.
Put the word "at" in there for me. Yeah. And what class did Franklin get 3.7 in? Point basket weaving.
Well, he said he got a 4.
Hitting, not hits, maybe. Anyway, But the answers, of course, let's put them in there. Kosh's ship is docked in Bay 13, of course, Lucky 13. Sheridan Talks says Jacob might be hiding in downtown, which is a place that doesn't really exist. I mean, it exists, but nobody calls it that. And Kosh wants to teach Sheridan to, quote, fight legends. That's a bit, maybe we'll find out something about that a little bit later. Maybe. I don't know. How many times does Garibaldi shoot at Max? 6 times. 6 times. And Franklin says he got a 4, but he's corrected and he got a 3.7 in his first aid class. Didn't know doctors took first aid. I thought they just take. But anyway, those are the answers to last week's Babylon 5 questions, trivia. And of course, we will have new trivia at the end of the show. We'll have trivia for this, as we always do. Okay. Shall we get into it, gentlemen? Jump right in. Cam, you want to do the quick summary? I'm going to do the slightly longer summary, and then we're going to get right into the episode.
Ready to go. Season 2, episode 14, episode 36 overall. There All the Honor Lies. Written by Peter David of comic book fame, recently deceased. Rest in peace. Originally aired on April 26th, 1995, and the production order was 215. So one off. The next couple episodes are going to be jumbled slightly, not like first season where they were really mixed up. Summary: Sheridan nearly loses his command after he kills a Minbari in self-defense. Ivanova is placed in charge of a gift shop selling Babylon 5 merchandise.
Right. Anything else? That's it?
Yep.
So quick. Yeah. I mean, okay. Should we say hello to the chat first before I jump into it?
Yeah, probably.
Who's in the chat tonight? Looks like it says we got 12 people watching, 1 on Rumble and 11 on YouTube. Hey, thanks to the Rumble guys. I got to sort things out there. Appreciate you guys on Rumble. We always like to have a backup just in case. All right. I see. Who do I see in the chat? Weatherman's here, of course, our most loyal viewer. He's been here for just about every show from the beginning. Hats off to Weatherman. Thank you. Appreciate you here. Madman Q2 Cast is on the show. Check out his channel. He's got a channel as well. Who else? Dave is here. Thank you, Dave. Dave always comes to watch, and of course, always gives greetings from the Narn delegation. We appreciate that.
I want my Narn action figure.
Yeah. James is here. Good to see you, James. Dean is in the chat. Dean was our guest panelist last week on the show.
Yes, he was.
And
then they yanked me into to one on Jack Lost Lore Scholars. That was fun. Of course, they were up late, man, because it was fun.
And I just want to mention that Dean was in last week, and anybody who's if you're in the chat on the show, you like the show, you want to come in and be a guest panelist for an episode or two, just drop me something on the Discord or me or Cam, an email, something, comment on a thing saying, hey, and we'll get in contact with you. And all we ask is that, people come in, they just pick pick an episode that you want to do. And if no one else has done it, we'll say, hey, sure, no problem. You just got to, have a microphone, of course, so you could talk. And you got to have an opinion or something. That's it. That's all. We appreciate having people in.
Hope Jason is enjoying that Deftones concert.
Oh, he's going to the Deftones concert. Oh, all right. Did I miss anyone? I'm just scrolling down. Jeanette Buffington is here. Hello. We know who that is, right?
I hope so.
I know who that is. Yeah. I'm sure Jeff knows too. Umbras is here. And he's playing Stardew Valley. Yeah. All right.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. All right. Okay. And thanks everyone in the chat. Yeah, come on in. It's good. Oh, we lost our Rumble guy. Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
Damn.
We bored him already?
All right. Oh well.
Oh man.
Oh well. Maybe it was a glitch or something. Anyway. Okay, let's get into the more detailed listing of the show. And this is just to remind everybody, maybe you missed the episode, or maybe you saw it years ago or something, just to sort of give your memory a little jolt. So the opening of the show starts off talking about having a gift shop on Babylon 5. Sinclair seems like he thinks it might be an okay idea, and he puts Ivanova in charge, who is not interested in it and thinks it's a bad idea. While going to meet Kosh, since the last episode, Kosh is now teaching Sheridan stuff, and he's going to a lesson with Kosh. While on the way there, he gets bumped into by some sort of thiefy, lower class looking human guy.
He's a rogue.
Bumps into him and takes his link from him, pulls it off him. He's like, hey. He chases after him. He runs into another Minbari who acts aggressively to him. He knocks him down. It's a little bit violent, and he ends up shooting him in self-defense. And there's another witness, another Minbari, who sees this and then runs away. And that's how the preamble to the show. That's how it starts. So we've already set up what's going to be happening in the show.
All right, let's talk about it.
No, we jump into the show. The guy is dead. The Minbari is dead, of course. There's an investigation. Sheridan is talking to Delin. She seems a little bit mad. Her government wants a separate investigation, and she mentions that, hey, could cause potential problems between the Minbari and Babylon 5, Sheridan, and maybe even Earth.
You think?
Garibaldi goes in and, of course, starts his investigation as he does. While Garibaldi's investigating, he notices that Lanier is always, and remarks on it, that he's either there before or after or about the same time. There's an autopsy. Franklin performs an autopsy. He discusses it. And Garibaldi mentions in that, we'll go into that in more detail later. Garibaldi also mentions at this time to Sheridan after the autopsy that he goes, this already seems a little some sort of setup. Something's going on. We then with Delin interrogating Ashan, who is the witness, the Minbari witness, and he doesn't like her and calls her a freak, sort of setting up as what we've been seeing the past couple episodes this season, where some Minbari don't seem to trust or like Delin anymore. There's a discussion between Lanier, Delin, Sheridan, and Garibaldi. Sheridan suggests the witnesses is lying. Delin, they says that I'm going to forget that I even heard that. Minbari don't lie, and if you call someone a liar, there could be some sort of fight about it. Sheridan then he says he wants to meet the witness and discuss it. They all meet. While he's interrogating the witness, asking questions, which the witness does not back up Sheridan's story. Sheridan's lawyer arrives, and they have a discussion.
He didn't even know he had one.
He didn't even know he had one. She arrives, and she mentions that if there's a trial, however it turns out, you're likely going to have to step down as the commander of Babylon 5. You won't. It'll be the end of your job here. We then have Kosh taking a lesson to Sheridan. He teaches them. He takes him down below and wants to show him his lesson is one moment of perfect beauty, whatever that means. Meanwhile, Garibaldi is having Ashan followed by this new replacement security guy, Zach, that we've seen in the last couple of episodes. Meanwhile, while Zach is following Ashan, Lanier is also following, and he knocks out Zach.
He does that weird Minbari. I think that's supposed to be like their equivalent of the Vulcan death bench or
Minbari karate chop or something.
Yeah. Boom, and suddenly they're knocked out.
He knocks him out, and then him and Ashan have a confrontation. Lanier demands the truth and basically tells Ashan that he's not very good at this sneaking around stuff, because he's actually caught him talking to the criminal guy that first bumped into Sheridan at the beginning of the episode. Lando and Sheridan are talking, and Lando's upset about
Lando.
Londo is upset about a doll that's in the gift shop, and Sheridan also mentions about Minbari not lying, and Londo's like, "What? They don't? Oh yeah, never mind, nothing."
Doesn't have the right attributes.
In the end, Sheridan gets a call from the Minbari embassy. Sean is going to leave, but if he leaves without an investigation, there could be doubt, and he feels that will, make make it more difficult for him to do his job. Him and Delin discuss it, and in the end, Lanier, goes to Sean and wants the truth. He gets the truth, but of course he's sneakily recording it, and all the other main players are listening at the same time. And Sheridan makes a deal. After that, they find out the truth. Sheridan makes a deal to sort of keep this quiet so that nobody loses honor and everything is good in the end. That is the main storyline. There's also two other storylines that are going on. I'll go over them real quick. There's the gift shop. Ivanova is running it. It's kind of played as a bit of a comedy thing. You've got Ivanova going through the gift shop. She sees humans with alien masks on and aliens with human masks. And there's a portion that sort of fits in with the main plot. Londo is mad about the doll that someone's making about him. And in the end, Sheridan decides he wants to close the store, and Ivanova is tasked to do that. And we can talk about that a little bit. And the sort of the other little plot line that's going on is between Veer and Londo. Veer is getting drunk. He feels guilty about holding all these secrets. His background. There's a background about his replacement. Now that Babylon 5 is becoming more important and Londo's becoming more important, it's time to put somebody who's good at their job in as the assistant to Londo, because Veer is not thought well of, apparently, by his family back on Homeworld. Londo basically comes and saves Veer and says, if you leave, I leave. I haven't treated you right. I'm going to treat you better. I talked to your family and told them what a great guy you are. I put a good write-up on you, and you're going to stay. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, have I got that right about the storylines?
Yeah, I had the murder one, which I separated off into kind of two sub portions of the Earth side and the Minbari side, and then the merchandise one, and then Veer as kind of the C plot.
And then there's also kind of the Kosh thing too, which is
that's true.
Yep. Although it's not much of it, but we can talk about that one. That one's a really.
It's kind of I would sort of say that's an ongoing arc. That's sort of.
Yeah, they're building up to that. Obviously, we start off with the merchandising. Here, I'll do that. Yeah, merchandising. I had to find that just for this.
All right, let's get the chat on the screen and go. Good. Let's do it, gentlemen.
Maybe we should just mention quick about the casting here. The lawyer is played by Julie Caitlin Brown, or Caitlin Brown, who was one of the Natoths.
Oh, really? It's her out of makeup?
Oh, yeah. She's the first Natoth, right? Or the main one.
That's
from
why
season
she
1?
Looked familiar.
Yes.
Oh, she's the best Natoth. Oh. Well, I like her as Natoth. I think she's great. Yeah. I think Q2 has a good. It mentions the whole, there is a line here where he says we're not some sort of deep space franchise. Yeah, we get it. That's quite a bit of a dig in there.
Yeah, merchandise. I'm still trying to find a shirt, man.
Well, I've got my Babylon 5 shirt.
Yeah, well, I can't find them. You guys don't have very good.
Got them online, man. Anyway,
yeah. Well, I've looked online. I can't find them online. They're not.
All right, I'll send you the link.
You send me one. All right.
Send you one.
Yeah.
Made of money.
Yeah. Yes. You're raking in the dough, man.
That's right.
No.
The show is making me rich.
Anyway. The Kosh timeline is probably the shortest. Should we start with that one because that is an ongoing arc and just move on?
Let's do it.
I mean, so obviously the merchandising thing kind of starts up, and he puts Ivanova in, and then he's running through, gets on his way to Kosh, bumped into. At a later on point, Kosh just shows up at his door and says, "Come."
I think it's later that day.
Yeah, it is. It
That
is
night,
later that day.
after
Yeah,
all
when
this
they're-
stuff has happened.
right after he's lost and gotten, and he's just kind of at his wits end. He's like, really, I don't have time for this kind of thing, and I've had a really stressful day, and that's the perfect time, is basically what Kosh says. You need to come. And he drags him down to the down below, and he's Sheridan remarks to Kosh that Garibaldi would what did he say? Go up the flue, or send me up the flue, or something to that effect. It was kind of a odd expression, but it made sense, I guess. And it was the one-armed man, yeah. And any rate, so he's like, talking about what a moment of beauty. So I'm thinking, what was really big at that time, and what was that Gregorian chant thing that was going on, that was always playing on the radio all the time? I think that may have played a part, because he goes in there and he takes off one of his badges, the bars, I guess, which we do learn officially at this point. I don't know if it's been specified that gold is for command, red is for medical, and green is for security. But he puts it in the little donation thing, and next thing you know, you get this Gregorian chant thing going on with all these people from down below, and what would you say, maybe 3.5, 4 foot tall area that he's crawling around in.
It was a little bit.
Yeah, it was like a crawl space kind of
funky.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Did they get taller? Did things expand? Did they get like it was a little bit? Had a bit of a fever dream feel to it. In my
it did, and maybe that's what it was supposed to be, kind of a medicine man type of thing.
Yeah, did all those people come out of somewhere? Like it seemed to just sort of appear. I thought maybe he was hallucinating some of them or something.
Well, maybe. I don't know if he was hallucinating, but he definitely was experiencing. I don't know where the lights and all that stuff came from. I mean, it looked like what a graded walk area was overhead, but it had all these draped down little things, cloths or whatever of various colors and stuff that was draped down, and it was kind of interesting. But any rate, so apparently Kosh found that to be fascinating and thought that Sheridan needed that break. And what was the line he gave? Do you remember, Cam? Beauty in the dark. That's it.
Well, Kosh said a moment of perfect beauty. Or
one moment of perfect beauty. Yeah.
Right.
That's what the lesson was that he wanted to experience.
And when he gets on the lift there with Ivanova, back from your lesson already, huh? What'd you learn today? And he said, beauty in the dark. And she comments, you're beginning to talk like a Vorlon.
Yeah. And so, okay, that was kind of a neat scene. In my opinion, it was kind of interesting, but what the hell does it mean? It's like, who are those things? Or, I don't know anything, having watched that.
It didn't, you've seen everything before, Cam, but to me, it doesn't really, mean anything. It's sort of a bit of mystery. I'm assuming that we're going to get more of that, and they're going to build on it a little bit.
Yeah, like Dean puts it well. He says it was a strange scene, enchanting, but don't think too hard about it. Yeah.
Right.
There's not enough.
Right.
I don't have enough context or anything to come to any conclusions about it. So I'm just going to be like, okay, let's file that away, and we'll
Vorlon stuff,
Yeah.
And quite frankly, that was it. That's the whole extent of his interaction with Kosh in this episode. I mean, it was literally probably took me longer to describe it than we actually saw.
It was probably, maybe not even 60 seconds worth of screen time.
Right. It was not a whole lot.
All right. So I guess we don't have much to say about that one.
That's it. I mean, that really is. That's literally that whole. I don't even know. Plot thread.
maybe later more stuff will happen that'll put this
Yeah.
into context. That's basically my thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now I guess we probably should talk about what led up to his no good, very bad day.
You want to stick to the main plot?
Yeah, because I think that's the key thing, and then we can, put
Yeah, all
the
right.
merchandising plot, right? That's the main plot. Oh wait, no,
No, not really, but yeah.
yeah, that's just what tied everything together.
Maybe
Cam,
let's mention this before we go on. Talia Winters and
Talia.
Warren Keffer both had a quick scene in this episode. I noticed Talia did. She bumps into Veer, and then she goes. She kind of looks at him and looks back, and then that's it. Now I didn't refresh my memory. What's the Warren Keffer episode part? I don't remember that.
At the very end where he was on patrol and
right,
into
yes, of course,
the
yes.
teddy
Oh,
bear.
I mean, Veer bumped into him and spilled his drink, and
Keffer.
no, Veer did.
Veer bumps into Keffer.
No, Veer bumps into
Veer
Talia.
bumped into Talia.
Yes.
That was the only time I noticed Talia in the episode. So she was in there a second time.
That's the only time she was there.
It was strange. I guess she got paid for that episode though, so good for her.
I mean, it was what like he acts like a buffoon.
He's kind of. I mean, he's drunk, right? Like he's a bit drunk.
Yeah,
he bumps into.
drinks,
He's walking. He bumps into her. The camera's on her. He still goes, sorry, stumbles off.
And then tries to wipe it off, and then he's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, he tries to touch her. He's like, oops. And then he stumbles off, and she sort of looks, whatever, starts walking, turns and looks at him again, and just goes, eh. It's sort of like whatever look on her.
And from that, you kind of got the feeling like maybe she was going to be involved in the investigation or something, but Nope, she wasn't. Yeah. I don't know if that was just a missed opportunity or what.
I'm wondering if, did she get some sort of something off of him, like psych-wise? Get a telepath sort of thing off him, which is why she sort of looked back with this sort of puzzled expression on her face. But I have nothing else from that.
Maybe there was more that was supposed to come from that, or maybe she got a sense that he knew or something.
But there was nothing really involving Veer that she would have been getting. It was just
other than his knowledge of secrets.
It was that. Like Jeff says, if those secrets that Londo has were high in his mind, he's thinking about them. Maybe she got a whiff of that, and I doubt it too. And then there's no proof or anything. That's the only thing I could think of where she would sort of look back and go, "What?"
That would have been a much deeper scan. He was worried about his own, immediate situation, clearly, and drowned in his sorrows about it. It's not like he was having a crisis about what Londo was doing at that time.
I completely admit that we, from what we know of what we would logically think of what Veer would be thinking of, and the way that telepaths work in this world, you wouldn't think that she'd get anything from that.
I mean, now it literally could have been anybody that he ran into, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, maybe it was they just decided to pull her in for that.
But I mean,
the other side of the coin is that we do know that Talia is more powerful than she's supposed to be. She's not a 5 anymore. We don't know what she is. So your idea that she could maybe do something. This is complete speculation. I don't really like to do this because I like to follow what the show's telling us and not come up with weird.
All right, let's not then.
But I am. Yeah, I just thought it was a little bit strange about it. I mean, I think it's worth mentioning, and maybe we'll see more about it later on or not.
Yeah, maybe she will.
Jeff and I don't know.
We don't.
Cam knows, but we don't.
I've only watched this episode once.
Yeah, Cam knows, but we don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see.
I mean, the Londo thing is pretty much Veer's worried about getting replaced. In Londo pretty much is acting like a good guy again. That's pretty much the whole.
He feels a little bad.
He feels
Londo is not an inherently evil character, right? It's not like he's backstabbing his friends and stuff all the time. So he has some loyalty to Veer, and that came through nicely in this episode.
And Veer has been very supportive of Londo. Londo should be loyal. Veer's sat there. He's dealt with all Londo's crap, done everything that he's told him, kept his secrets. I mean, Londo. I mean, if I was in Londo's shoes, I wouldn't want Veer replaced. I mean, who the heck am I going to get instead? This guy, I trust this guy. He hasn't said anything. I mean, the Emperor could be sending one of his buddies to spy on me, or something like who's this new person?
And Veer is well aware of Mr. What's his name, right? From the darkness. I can never remember his name. Morden, yeah.
Yeah, well,
so he's because he's had to go. Can you go find Mr. Morden? All the time. So he knows about this guy, and then things happen.
There's no real reason why you'd want to. I wouldn't want to replace.
It may be self-serving to not do that. That is an excellent line, Madman. Yes, best hope for a quick buck. That was an excellent line that Sheridan threw out there.
Okay, we switched off. We said we were going to go to the main plot, and then we so let's go to the main plot.
All right. So, Cam, you go ahead and kick it off. I'm going to go grab a beer.
Okay. I mean, honestly, there's not all that much to it. Sheridan's going for his lesson, to meet up with Kosh, and someone swipes his link, and he goes chasing him down, and then coincidentally runs into a Minbari who starts trying to, kind of roughing him up, and pushes him down. And coincidentally, of course, there's the pistol, and the guy kind of comes at him and he shoots him. And then conveniently, there's a Minbari witness there who runs off. And so, it becomes this big issue in which the interesting part of this is when, they have a scene where Delenn and Lanier is there. I think Lanier was there when she's kind of going at.
Lanier's there. Yeah.
Okay. She's going at Sheridan about this kind of uncharacteristically because, I think she has some understanding of him, but she was kind of holding his feet to the fire as if, he had, really done something wrong, maybe assuming he had done something wrong.
This was pre-Chrysalis type of attitude.
Yeah.
It was actually, I disagree with that.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
It's not pre-Chrysalis.
Okay.
I think it's post-Chrysalis, and I think that's why I think she's showing a little more human side. She's a little bit more emotional and stuff, eh? Like
maybe
she's being a little more. I mean, because you're right, and she says later when she speaks to Lanier, they're talking about Ashan when he's like, oh, he's a lot, if he's a liar or not, and she says to Lanier directly, "This is uncharacteristic. I've been watching Sheridan a long time. This is uncharacteristic for him." Implying that Ashan is lying, and of course,
but she has a scowl on her face.
But
like when Sheridan is there, and
no, for sure, and that's my point. Is that maybe she's feeling a little emotional about it because she honestly doesn't really believe that he, that he would do this, and I just feel like shooting somebody, so I did. So it's obvious that she's thought about this. So why is she so angry about it? She seems a little. My government, this and that. And Minbari are usually a little more calm and collected, right?
But it's directed at Sheridan.
It is.
Yeah, it does seem to be. But that's an interesting point you bring up, Snob, because again, she might be thinking about the bigger picture. It's like, she has a bigger sense of what's going on here, and Sheridan is part of it. And it might be one of those things. It's like we can't afford to have this kind of thing happening, right? Yeah. Because it's endangering the bigger picture.
No, for sure. But my point, though, is, I mean, I totally agree with all that. But my point is that it's post-Chrysalis because she seems to be acting uncharacteristically more emotional about that. Yeah, more human. Because normally, like if this happened in the first season before she became a halfsies or whatever, she would be much more intellectual, and you would say that you would think without emotion, saying like very straightforward. This has a potential to be damaging with my government, not, I'm mad.
Well, the Minbari witness clearly didn't have any respect for her. That was almost over-exaggerated, I think. Because, okay, so what happened is his link gets taken, right? And some guy, this robed figure just kind of bumps up and he's like, oh, sorry. And merchandising. Yeah.
Huda wants us to go back to the main plot, all about merchandising.
Yeah. And he notices his link, which of course Sheridan engages in a chase, and he's in a foot chase trying to, hey, you. And then the guy's like suddenly on the overhead gantry walking along, on the next level up. And he goes, and that's when he runs into this Minbari, who then proceeds to, pick a fight with him.
Yeah, basically.
And, he threw the Minbari threw the first punch, knocked Sheridan down. I'm sure it was deliberate. Sheridan was not surprised, was kind of caught off guard. And then suddenly there's a convenient PPG laying right next to Sheridan. And I'm like, did Sheridan drop his PPG? That was kind of.
One, does he?
Well, he wasn't, and he's. It might, I might just be reading this, but yeah, it seemed like he was surprised to see it there. He's like, oh, and kind of grabs it, but no, it wasn't his.
He doesn't carry one normally. I don't remember seeing him.
Well, he has before when they,
but not normally, not an everyday thing.
Are we sure? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
No, he's not shown carrying one, whereas the security guys do
always
carry. Yeah. That doesn't mean he hasn't or doesn't have it, hidden or something.
Right.
But in this case, they established
strapped
later
to his leg or whatever.
It wasn't his.
Yeah.
So now, okay, about Delen's thing, shortly we have a discussion with what's the guy's name? Ashan, and Lanier and Delen, where he basically Ashan
was a witness. He's the witness,
right? But he's basically just slaps at Delen. Says I don't talk to freaks. I mean, it's like
right.
very bluntly,
it's
she's the ambassador, man.
Right,
and like he's just some guy on the.
I think it might have worked better if you had that kind of set up ahead of time. So Delen was already agitated going into this meeting with Sheridan, as opposed to just kind of coming in hot. I think that might have worked a little better.
Maybe
she's already pissed off because this guy had said to her,
right,
insulted her.
What did you think about so the guy that Sheridan shot says death first? And what did you think about the Minbari expression excuse? About
that's it's credible, right? I mean, it's like it sounds. No, I think think about it. In the heat of an altercation, you have a phrase that sounds almost exactly the same in a foreign language, and then add in an accent, for example, and could you say for sure that he said that over the other thing? I couldn't.
I could because I saw the thing. I wasn't. I mean, I can understand that Sheridan might question it, which he does later, which I think is fine.
Yeah,
perfectly good. Now, as the audience, though, I'm looking at it. And I'm like, no, it's pretty obvious. The guy was like at his face. He was like looking at him. He was going at him. He could have easily, backed away. He was very aggressive. He wanted to get shot.
Yeah, and we also had the omniscient view that Sheridan didn't have any motivation to shoot this guy. I mean, we saw it from his perspective, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, like the third person perspective. But I agree with you. I think it's good. It's a reasonable thing to say that would make Sheridan maybe question himself. And I could see me questioning myself in that situation as well.
Well, sure.
But as the audience, we're like, no. I mean, the guy came right up to him. He started pushing him and whatever. He pulled the PPG, get back, and he just sort of stood there like he wanted to get shot.
Yeah, I don't think the episode was portraying that the audience should have been like, oh, well, maybe Sheridan did do it.
No, for sure.
No, clearly, it was obvious, blatantly obvious that the PPG was staged there, and this whole thing was a setup. Clearly, this guy wanted to be a martyr. For his
now.
That's the thing I came to right off the bat.
It was like, duh.
This is like, exactly. Duh. Now, something's fishy, man. This guy is not acting normally. Where'd the gun come from? Maybe
they kind of just disappeared off the radar in the
right.
show.
Yeah, Garibaldi mentioned it about tracking it because I remembered from the earlier episode where they talked about the crystal being, marked and everything, and it just Never mentioned it.
It just went
and
away.
and they do mention later, why would a Minbari have a PPG? That would be an insult to carry that. And there's they as we get through the episode,
They insulted themselves a lot.
They throw more on there, which makes it even more and more suspicious. But
Right.
I would say that in the opening, did Sheridan have to shoot him? He's lying in the ground in a prone position. The guy's kind of standing over him. Is it really? I mean, that's the only question I would have. Like, if the Minbari pulled a knife out or something was about to hit him or stab him or something, like it's a little bit, okay, you've got him in dead to rights.
I'd say from my perspective is that the guy didn't appear to have a weapon, but that's not it. Rule of self-defense. The guy was, had already harmed him and was seeking to do great bodily harm or kill him. Yep. So I'd call it a clean shoot, but yep. I do agree that it was pretty extreme. But again, he was on his back. He only had access to one weapon. I think it's reasonable to say he didn't have a ton of options.
He had disadvantage. He was prone.
Right. Now, could he have, rolled up and run? Maybe. But
just stayed there and waited for the guy to try to jump on him before actually.
Well, I think he was. The guy was the guy was menacing him, and he did hold the gun up. He did, and the guy did not back off. So
no, he didn't back off.
I think, like I said, I think it's a clean shoot, but still.
And then, of course, he dramatically fell backwards down the stairs.
Right
in front of the other guy.
Yeah, right. And I'm assuming that the Minbari Sean saw the whole thing. So
he was part of the whole thing.
That wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary that he had to fall down in order to
I think I would say otherwise. I would say from Sean looked like he was probably coming up the stairs and just saw the body, which I suspect was part of the staging. And he'd be like, yeah, he must have shot, because he didn't see the beginning part. So he would have plausible deniability.
We don't know what he saw at the beginning.
I know, but what I'm saying in terms of the setup, meaning within the story, the setup within the story is that it's like he couldn't say, they couldn't say, well, he's lying clearly because he saw what happened. It's just like all he saw was the guy come down. He didn't see the whole altercation,
right?
At least not close up. He was on a different level.
That doesn't mean he wasn't involved.
Clearly he was.
Clearly, we find that out that he was. They were part of the same clan,
right. Which also
Minbari do not lie. Well, we've already seen.
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, Minbari, because even Jeanette pointed this out. She's like, she's like, well, Londo actually gave Sheridan some good advice, and Jeanette caught on to that. She's
even
like,
Jeanette caught on this. What do you say?
Yeah, she's like, they won't lie unless it's for an honor reason, to save face. And we've seen Lanier do this before. Remember? For somebody in a previous episode.
Yeah, well, when Londo and him were hanging out, when they got into the fight in the bar and everything, basically Lanier took the blame for it.
Right, which was a lie.
Right.
Yeah, but it's more honorable to lie to save face for somebody, which is actually why Londo is the one who kind of cagily told Sheridan. He didn't name any names, but
yeah, and that was also Londo again showing
being normal again,
right? That he was like he kind of blurted it out, and then he's like, well, kind of didn't want to hang him out to dry,
right? A certain Minbari once did a favor for a certain Centauri. So he kind of phrased it very funny like that.
What Minbari did?
Lanier for Londo.
Lanier did something for Londo. What did he do?
He took the blame for the bar fight.
Oh, the bar fight back.
Remember that? Yeah. And so that's the reference that's where he was going back to, but he was just kind of being nebulous about the description of of who was who, and he wasn't saying that I did it and that Lanier did it, but having watched the episodes, we know that it was that.
But he did help. Still, kind of did help Sheridan in that,
Okay.
to
Right.
give him a little bit.
That was from the first season, right?
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sheridan wasn't here for that. He wouldn't necessarily know right off the bat.
But that's why Londo.
Yeah, he might remember.
But Londo was. And Londo.
Yeah. I just remember that. I mean, Lanier might come in and say, yeah, I started the bar fight. But I'd be like looking at Londo and Lanier and going, yeah, buddy, sure you did. You started the bar fight.
I almost pulled that gif.
I would never believe. And I'm assuming that the rest, like Garibaldi, wouldn't.
Well, it was
happened. He wouldn't believe it. Like he wouldn't believe that.
As I recall, when Lanier said that, it was kind of like, yeah, sure. It's like, okay,
yeah,
but,
sure. You didn't start it. Yeah, Lanier started it. Yeah,
right. Okay, but the things that are interesting about this is the details of what's going on with Minbari. With Lanier and I'm sorry, with Delenn, but then also Lanier's interactions. It's basically Lanier is showing up. Garibaldi says, every time I talk to somebody, he's there. Because they said that they were going to do their own independent investigation, and so it was Garibaldi and Sheridan were talking, and Garibaldi's like, I like the guy. It's like basically saying I trust him. And Sheridan says, well, I like him too, but he's a Minbari and everything that goes along with it, so which is telling us a little bit about Lanier is he is trustworthy.
Everyone likes Lanier.
Right, he does, because he is honorable,
he's totally loyal, honorable, trustworthy. He's never done anything to think make you think otherwise.
Right, no bad motivations we've seen from him at this point.
And
he does have a point that Delenn too. Lying by omission is that a lie? Can you rationalize it?
Not the same, right? I'm not required to tell everybody everything about myself when I meet them, right? Like
might be state secrets or something like that at that point. Yeah.
But I mean, you're right. I mean, I think he makes a good point. She does that's why I think this is why I wanted to talk about this, because I thought this was, and I'm kind of looking at Cam because he knows the rest of the story. I think it's another interesting piece we have about the Minbari, that they never lie. Now, that seems to be a standard thing because, Londo doesn't really say, oh no, Minbari lie all the time. Like, he must know that sort of stereotype of them. He just knows that it's not always true because of him and Lanier, and that Lanier will, keep,
there's an exception to the rule.
There's an exception. Yes, exactly. And but yet that still seems to be the general thing about Minbari. So I found it interesting that we have this sort of idea that Minbari don't lie. They're honorable normally, but there are these tiny circumstances that Sheridan doesn't know about, and maybe humans don't know about in general, where there are times where they can do something. Yeah.
Hey, Cam, can you address PB's question? Because we don't.
At this point,
yes, PB.
The Shadow's been introduced. Yes, they've been introduced.
We've seen these mysterious ships. We've seen some creatures.
Morden,
Morden.
Yeah,
and we've heard them
like
the little dog-like things.
Who's addressing this? Who's addressing this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
And we've seen various people refer to shadows by name, including Sinclair. So we don't know much else about them at this point. So that's about what we know.
Except for what's in the Book of Jaquan.
Yeah.
Which strangely looks a lot like that one.
Yeah. And Jeff and I have speculated that there's something going on. The shadows are perhaps something to do with the Vorlons, that they maybe be like ancient enemies of them, or the opposite, light to their darkness sort of thing.
Like angels and demons, basically. Light and dark.
Something. And obviously, and I've said that I think that some of the, the problems with Earth, the conspiracy to just kill the president, and put the new guy in, has something to be done with, maybe the shadows are behind that. They're trying to sow chaos in order to,
Yes, not Zahadum has happened.
Zahadum has been introduced.
Well,
Okay, well,
sort
slow down.
It's been mentioned.
It's been mentioned.
Next
Right.
episode is
I
called.
don't know nothing about the next episode.
Oh, sorry, not the next episode. The next episode is called "And Now for a Word," but the one after that is called "In the Shadow of Zahadum."
Yeah, so we're going to be getting into
2 episodes from that. I'm assuming we're gonna know something about.
I mean, we kind of know,
Well,
right?
it's a place,
because of Jakar, and
they've dropped the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jakar went there to check something out, and he found bad things happening.
Right.
Barely escaped with his life from like episode 3 or something of this season, something like that.
Right. Earlier this season.
Earlier episode 2.
And he's been absent quite a bit so far.
Yeah. So we will be getting a lot more about that. So I think PB is trying to get a sense of where we are in terms of the big reveals, and we're not there yet with the shadows.
Well, I mean, everybody, this is episode 14. It's 22 episodes. The next 8 episodes are really, well, not all of them, but many of them are quite big. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to change. This is what I've heard. They're going to change the, they're going to be some big reveals and stuff. So
more epic.
Yeah, epic. I'm looking forward to them myself.
I mean, what do you? I don't know what you guys feel.
In the Shadow of Zahadum will be the first of.
Generally, this episode, and I told Jeanette this. I said, this kind of did it feel like a filler episode to you? Because it did kind of to me a little bit. Like in the grand cosmic scheme of things, it didn't really. I
would agree with that a little bit. It seems to be, we're getting a little bit about the Minbari. We're seeing stuff about Lanier.
Very little bit about Kosh.
We're seeing a little bit about Kosh, but that is very small compared to the overall.
Yeah, overall, if you missed this episode, it wouldn't necessarily be. I don't even know what would be in this except for maybe, Veer bumping into, or.
Yeah, even that. No, maybe.
Although Kosh does talk about music a lot, so maybe that was part of the reason why.
The only aspect, Jeff, that I would say that because we're both, the virgins,
right?
Of the show. I would say that the fact that at the very end of the episode, with this whole situation, Sheridan, makes a deal with them, Minbari, with Lanier, so that he doesn't lose face. That might be, something in there a little bit that he's looking out for the Minbari, Delin, and Lanier. That might go into something later on, with their increased sense of trust. But other than that, I think you're kind of right. It's a bit of a filler, but who knows?
Enigma, by the way, is what I was thinking of. Enigma was really popular in the 90s.
Well, let's finish talking about where this storyline ends up.
We're going a little bit out there.
And that is that basically, well, the interesting part comes in is the lawyer, shows up for Sheridan, sent by Earth, and says, stop talking to these people, so on and so forth. Typical lawyer kind of take. But the interesting thing is she mentions it's basically, she's like, well, I don't think that they have enough to convict you. Earth says, yeah, they're not standing in the way of a trial, first of all, which is why they sent her then to represent him. And then she says, well, you don't have they probably don't have enough evidence to convict you, but either way you're going to lose your command. And that made me go, oh, is this some kind of because
right,
as far as we know, there is no one that suspects
in Earth Dome,
right, that they have reason to suspect Sheridan, but maybe they do. He has kind of clashed, like in the last episode, with the intelligence guy and everything, and maybe someone said, hey, this guy's a problem, get him out of there, and they were taking this as an opportunity. I don't know if that was the case, but it sprang to mind, at least. So
you sprang to mind that do you mean the conspiracy or the setup might be Earth Dome related, or just that it would be something they would take advantage of?
No, well, if they would have gone somewhere with the PPG, then there was an opportunity for them to show that, it's like, oh
Right.
yeah, and this came from whatever, then it's like, oh, and then and then they jump in. But my take on it is that it was just something that they might have seen as an opportunity, and I'm not even sure that that's the case.
And we
Yeah,
don't we never saw the thief either again.
well,
We saw him twice. We saw him when in the initial, when he bumped into Sheridan, and then we saw him talking to whatever his name is,
Sean.
Sean, when Lanier basically come up to him and he disappeared. So we don't even know who the guy was. We never got a good look at him.
You already even get a look at him.
Yeah. So, but what if he was somebody working from the Earthdom side trying to rile up? Yeah, we could speculate on that. Clearly,
I went with
it
Cam.
just doesn't want it implied.
I went with Cam because there's no evidence of any others, so I suspected that it would be just like, oh, Earthdome. This is a chance for them to. The most it would be like, oh, we want to get rid of the Sheridan guy. Here's a good opportunity. Let's take it. That's the only thing I saw about that. But on the other side, I mean, they put Sheridan in there because they wanted to, put this, tweak the Minbari.
Oh yeah. That's kind of the reason why
put him in there, right?
Why
Minbari? He's the most hated human.
Santiago, right? Was it Santiago?
Santiago's dead. Clark
is the president.
So I mean, the conspiracy between the Earth and the Minbari in order to get rid of Sheridan seems a little far fetched, though. I'm sure some of the Minbari would go for it for sure, right? Like they would be like, yeah. But yeah.
So the whole thing comes down to, Sean is lying, of course.
Oh yeah.
They have this big conspiracy, where they've clearly had quite a bit of setup to it that we've already discussed, and then they were going to be pulling him off the station, so there couldn't be a trial, or basically they would have no witness, and then so the trial would just kind of linger there, and in that way undermine Sheridan, because
they already built it up too with the non-aligned worlds canceling a meeting or something like that, kind of in the passing.
Yeah, so it was a PR kind of thing at that point. It was like, yeah, the trial really won't matter in terms of the actual outcome of a trial, but it would have other effects that clearly.
Oh, you might not go to jail, but you lose your job. Either way.
Yeah, and undermine him. I mean, that was I guess the goal. And so you got to be saying, well, where you could also be thinking, well, is this coming from somewhere else within the Minbari side, bigger than just this one clan?
Yeah.
We don't really get a.
Did you catch the name of the clan?
Yeah.
Well, it's the third Fane of Chidomo.
Third Fane of Chidomo.
Oh, okay.
Which is Lanier's clan.
Yes.
Also.
It is. I knew it was Lanier's clan. I just didn't know which. I didn't write the name down.
Yeah, not the second Fane, the third Fane.
The third Fane. Yeah, whatever that is.
Whatever that is. Okay. Michael. Madman beat you to it. He's already requested to be the guest panelist on that show. Maybe we can work something out. Let me see what we can do.
Yeah, you'll have to.
Madman is he's right in there. He's like he's picking all the good ones. He's stealing all the good ones from you guys. But
well, if Jason doesn't show up,
we can see. We can work something.
We might have to institute a policy where if you have one scheduled, you can't schedule anymore until that episode comes up, because otherwise it's like, oh look, season 4, episode 8, 8 through
and 8 through 14. Yeah.
Not that we don't appreciate all of our guests.
No, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Dean is asked to be on a couple others as well, but he's picking stuff from the 3rd season, and I'm like, well, it's a little.
Hey, we're very optimistic about that. We love it.
I don't have my list up yet for the third season episodes.
I think one. You can go for one ahead of time, but just not a bunch.
No, we don't have any hard and fast rules, but maybe we can work something out.
We're making it all up as we go along.
That's right. Pretty much.
Anyway, so basically they're going to hang Sheridan out to dry, and Lanier says, he's talking just to Sean. He's like, okay, well, if you do that, then I'm just going to go and take responsibility for it, and so basically then they are kind of screwed. And he's like, well, the guy's like, no, you could not do that. But Lanier, the point is going to lie in order to get to the truth, essentially, which is that their clan has done this thing, which is kind of strange, but I see his method, that he's going to expose the wrongdoing by the Minbari, even though he knows it will dishonor his family or his clan.
Yeah,
because they did it. I mean, they're at least some within it have actually done that. So he's saying, yeah, you're guilty, so you're going to be held as guilty, even if he implicates himself falsely.
Yeah, and ultimately they, I think Sheridan he almost follows the Minbari kind of thing where,
right.
Well, we're just gonna let your clan save face.
Yeah,
for the good of everything.
Right, and I think the arrangement was that basically Ashan would just say, "No, I didn't." Kind of recant.
Yeah, everything that Sheridan said is true, basically.
Right.
Which is
and
true.
Yeah, not expose them as liars.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
make it totally unrelated to anything the clan. Of course, the clan itself, they did point out that it was, came from higher up in the clan, the leadership of the clan that kind of organized this and recruited the martyr and all that.
Right. So a couple things I wanted to mention about that. So number one, I mean, I think this is a good move by Sheridan because it keeps everything quiet. He gets he achieves his objective. Plus, he builds up some goodwill with the Minbari, right? Right, Weatherman.
Well, with Delenn at least.
With Delenn and Lanier.
Lanier, I think because he's helping Lanier out. It's honorable for him to do that.
I think
Lanier.
It's also interesting that it shows something about the Minbari, that there are people out to get Sheridan, and that they are not above stooping to what I think Minbari would consider dishonorable actions in order to to get Sheridan, right? Like, does that not stick out to you guys? Like, it's very like they're supposed to be a fairly honorable race, and here they are. Oh, we want to get the Sheridan guy. Let's lie and cheat.
Well, they're honorable up to a point.
Yeah, like I
mean,
when
it's in their best interest,
it seems honorable. Like it. They're not as honorable as we've been led to believe. That they're completely, they're still self-serving to some extent. Now, you could say that's mitigated because the fact that Sheridan is so dishonorable that he led them into a trap and he was sneaky and whatever. Of course, humans consider that as just that's part of the game, right?
Yeah. Well, and I like what Dean says.
What Sheridan did was not be considered dishonorable from a human side, especially since humans were greatly outgunned. Like, oh yeah, we're going to be honorable and go head to head. Well, that's stupid. We're going to lose. Why would we even, right?
Yeah. I like what Dean points out. This is one of the episodes where he preferred the B plots to the A plot, and I can see that. They were the main plot of this was kind of like this is a setup. I mean, blatant and and I don't know. It was just kind of like, okay, we knew where it was going to go. We didn't know exactly how it was going to finish, but we knew it was going to. Obviously, we know Sheridan's not going anywhere, so we know,
Yeah, I didn't really think that was credible either. I didn't really think, Sheridan's at risk. Like all right, they got to resolve that. There's no way they're gonna. But I mean, it would be very, if Sheridan had been,
if only they had
that would be
these little things like surveillance cameras on Babylon 5 somewhere,
That would have been a great blow, like for Sheridan to leave the position. I mean, that's a huge threat to everything that that the quote good guys are doing. The rest of the Babylon 5, the conspiracy that we've got with General Haig and all that stuff. That would be a big, a big blow to the good guy side if Sheridan were to leave the position. He's, the key linchpin of this whole thing, sort of, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a
But-
big threat.
Any rate, let's see. Any other things?
I'd like to talk about Lanier a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think this is a good episode because it shows a little bit of his character. He is really growing as a character. He's being shown to be very strong, strong morals. Perhaps the most outstanding characters of all the ones on the show. Impossible to break his honor and his truth and that sort of thing. I mean, he's really showing, like, when I see Lanier acting in this episode, I think the character, I'm like, hey, I could see him taking Delenn's job, for example. I can see him being one of the big leaders of the Minbari, in the future sometime, and having a great effect on what might be going on in season 4 or season 5 because of his sort of strong morals and character.
Sure. I could, yeah. No, I think it builds Lanier as a character. I'm not sure any of the other characters get built up. Maybe Londo a little bit, but
we're seeing great growth from him, and I can see him as in a leadership position sometime in the future. That's the whole point.
And Veer's picking up habits from Londo.
Veer's a good assistant so far, but
Right.
and he's kind of stood up to Londo a little bit, saying, "Hey, this is wrong" and stuff. But Lanier, stands up with his actions. He says, "No, I will take the dishonor." Veer's just like, "I don't know if you should do this, boss." Well, we're doing it, okay. Like, that's different.
Yeah, he's like the reluctant assistant of the evil guy. Boss, you think we should do that? I don't know if we should.
A bit later, but
yeah, I mean,
it's different. I like the difference, and I think it really shows the character of the races, the species, right? Like, and it fits in with what I know about Centauri and Minbari and how they act. Like, that's how I expect.
Lanier is a poster child for the Minbari. Yeah.
Lanier, how I expect him to act as a Minbari, and how I expect Veer to act as the assistant to Londo. And Natoth was another good one too, and I wish we saw more of her. But I like where they were going with that, with those three characters.
No, we saw Natoth out of makeup.
Yeah.
I think Cam pointed that out.
You know what I mean? And
Really?
I like the first Natoth. Not the first one, but this one here. That I always felt that they really did a great job of showing the three of them mirroring, their species, what we kind of expected from them, and
Well, at any rate, have we exhausted the main plot? I think we have.
Well, we've got the merch plot still.
Yeah.
Well, before we go into that,
I still want a baseball cap, though.
Yeah. Let's talk about. There's nothing else we want to talk about with the general, the plot line, the deal, none of that. There's nothing else that we want to.
The deal?
Well, the deal that Sheridan makes.
No,
we're good with all that.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean,
okay. Then let me talk. Let me
patiently.
mention one of the little points I have before we move on. Delinn talking about being cut off from people. What do you guys think about that? Is that interesting, or is that kind of
well, not being cut off? Sheridan, the conversation that she had with Sheridan, basically, Sheridan is saying, there was a time at which, when I was, had no power, was kind of stranded in the middle of nowhere with nobody around for 8 hours, which could have been 8 days, as far as he could, know. And he knows that feeling of loneliness, and she retorts with, yes, that is horrible, but it's even worse when you're surrounded by people and ignored or shunned, or alone, all alone. Because I think he even used the all alone in the night, right? Yeah, and she said, or all alone, surrounded by people, or by others, or something to that effect. And it was kind of like that was an interesting. You can be alone in in different ways, So she's
Cam?
clearly feeling it.
You want to comment on that, Cam?
Well, yeah. I mean, she's they showed it when Ashan, basically said she's a freak, and other Minbari have said, well, we don't know what you are. I mean, so essentially, she's been kicked out of her position on the Great Council, and the common people in her society don't consider her one of them. So
Right.
essentially, the only, I mean, she's a complete outcast from her own people, with the exception of Lanier.
She's not quite Minbari and not quite human. So
Minbari are pretty racist, man.
Yeah, they are.
Everyone. This show is filled with racism.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
She's half and half, and she's treated like garbage, man.
Well,
but I bring that up to mention that this is more reinforcement of what we've seen in the last couple times in the last 10 episodes or something, that she is feeling alone. The Minbari are kind of pushing her out, or they're shunning her, and she's in this position. Even though she did this with, she did it too, according to the Great Council, she did it too early, but she was supposed to do this at some point, right?
So I think she did it at the right time. They just don't realize.
Well, she felt she did it at the right time, but they didn't give the okay yet, or they basically had said earlier in the season, yeah, you shouldn't have done it now, but she always planned to do this. So it's kind of funny to me that they know that. She's doing something, early, yes, but she's doing something that they had planned for her to do, but yet they're still shunning her so severely, it seems. Are they really just mad because, hey, you did this before we told you to, or they don't seem
are they
to
being
care
petty
that I don't think that's why, because only the Great Council would sort of know that, hey, she did this when she wasn't supposed to. I'm assuming the rest of Minbari society wouldn't know anything about it. I can see why they might react that way, but you'd think the Great Council would be.
Well, clearly the military didn't know.
And
jerk off there that replaced her.
But weren't they aware that she was going to? Like I said, they planned for her to do this at some point, but they weren't aware that how she would be shunned by her fellow Minbari. Was she, she was going to do this, and the only people who would be nice to her after this would be the Great Council, and everyone else would be like, oh no, you're not Minbari anymore. That's my kind of. I'm just wondering. It seems a little strange, but I understand it. But yeah, Cam, do you want to comment on that?
The Minbari is a society that is very secretive.
Yeah.
So. Even if these things were, fully approved and such, you might still be getting these kinds of reactions. Because they don't share these reasons. They just. And we've seen Delenn kind of exercise that at one point, where she's like, I'm on the Great Council, do what I say. So it's.
And now she doesn't have that.
No, I totally agree that. I totally agree that that other than the Great Council, no one would know that she was going to do this chrysalis thing. Like, I think that's completely obvious and understandable. And they're of course mad at her because she did it before they told her to. But that was the plan at all times. I'm just, it's kind of strange they didn't foresee that this would happen. She didn't take any.
Well, I don't know that any of them knew exactly what would happen.
That's
because she didn't even know what was going to happen. I don't think
that's true. And Lanier, they hint that she might not survive the process, even.
Right.
Yeah.
And they didn't know.
He was worried about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't know how she would.
She's attempting to follow what she believes this prophecy is. It's very uncertain across the board. She thinks she sees the right direction to be going, but she doesn't know what's along that path.
Yeah. No, that's a good point that they didn't know. She didn't know exactly what's going to happen. All right, let me just hit the chat up a little bit. PB. So just in general, the rules for the show is that we, Babylon 5 is it's 30 years old. Usually the spoiler is 48 hours or something. Generally speaking, we don't. If you want to do spoilers in the chat, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna ban anybody or anything like that. Though generally, I won't highlight comments that might be spoilery. However, there are some people who are watching the show that may not know what's happening.
Including 3/4 of our panel.
Yeah,
right.
So,
and there are people who are interested in watching the show and seeing the reactions of myself, Death Angel Shadow, and Jason, who none of us have seen the
whole series.
Seen the whole series. I am, I've seen like farthest. I've seen the opening sequence to the next episode. Like that's as far as I've gone, and I've tried to avoid spoilers. Now that said, of course, it's the show's 30 years old. I can't, if I'm doing research for the show or something, I can't help but some YouTube video comes up and says, "Hey, what about the death of so and that kind of stuff."
Right.
And I mean, even I've seen the whole thing, and I'm not trying to get ahead and go through the whole thing and say, oh yeah, I remember exactly what I'm trying to take it episode to episode to somewhat experience it, in the original way.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's.
This is like a meta. This is like a bit of a meta conversation. I'm just saying that's how we're trying to approach the show. Cam isn't giving away spoilers if he can. Jeff, Jason, and I are trying to watch with virgin eyes, and that's why we can speculate. Cam's not going to speculate because he knows
our speculation is literal speculation at this point. We don't know.
We're trying to do that on purpose because we're also trying.
So I know. It
yeah.
just it
we're
kind of
we're kind of letting you guys experience it like again.
And you're like, ooh, but I know.
If you've seen the show before, if you've seen it before, you can kind of see how a person watching it for the first time views it. So that's why we try to avoid that stuff. Now that said, you can say whatever you want in the chat. If you're watching the, if you're watching the show, if you're watching our show now and you don't want spoilers, you don't have to read the chat. You can.
I have it like three different places up here, though. I don't know if I could not view the chat myself.
Yeah, but not for us. We have to, right?
But I know
that's how we're taking it for.
But spoilers. Be kind to us.
Yeah. So don't I would prefer not to put spoilers in, but I'm not going to ban anybody or anything.
If you slip, it's okay.
If you're watching the show and you don't want spoilers, find out who the spoilery persons are in the chat, and I don't know, mute them.
You can block other people, but I don't recommend it because it's a pain in the ass to unblock them.
Yeah, but that's how we're approaching the. Sorry, I'm stepping out of the show. I just want to give people I've explained this, a couple times during the show, but new people come in, so I'm just sort of setting it out. That's how our philosophy is on the show and how we're running the show.
So we do have one the most important scene in this episode to talk about. You left. You know what that is, right?
I'm gonna say it's probably something to do with merchandising because
it's the unidentified object.
Merchandising.
There's one of the Furies is out flying around and looking for this unidentified object, and he finds it.
Yeah,
and it's
hold on before we get into it, let me just address PB's point. Yeah, we've heard this, and even Cam has told us this. And that's why I'm pushing the show is because, these last, we've got 8 episodes left. These last episodes are, I'm told that they're very, not all
some of the best of the whole series.
Show, and they're really going to sort of turn things upside down. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's great. And Jeff, myself, and Jason kind of struggled with, Jason especially, I think, probably more than the rest of us, struggled with season 1 because some of the stuff there was kind of like, this is a little bit.
I struggle with season 1 more than you
Cam
guys.
I was gonna say Cam was the one that had to deal. We're like, okay, this is all right, and Cam's like, oh my god, this was awful. I forgot how bad this episode was. So we're like, really? I didn't think it was that bad. And like Cam's ratings, for the first season, a lot of them were like lower than mine.
Cam wanted to do three episodes a show so we get through the first season faster.
He did, and I'm like, that's a lot of writing.
Anyway, that's a lot of verbiage for me to sort of tell you where we're at. But sorry, I went off a little bit of a tangent. But so everybody knows that's how we're kind of running the show.
All right, everybody wants to hear about the merch. The merch.
Yeah,
if you like that, watch the show. That's how we're. That's
Do
how
we
we're
have
running.
merch?
Right,
we need merch,
Jeff. This is killing you. You really want to go and do the merch?
No, Cam is all Yeah. So, yeah. Well, there's a couple of things. Somebody had mentioned it earlier about the masks, and the Drazi wearing a human mask and a human wearing a Drazi mask, kind of flipping it. That was kind of funny. You were wondering which one was which. But at some point, Ivanova, towards the end, when they're kind of wrapping the episode up, Ivanova has a teddy bear, and it says Babylon 5.
Babylon.
Babylon 5, something like that. At any rate, and of course, then he sees the initials, and the initials are JS, and you gotta wonder if they're just missing an M there, because Jeffrey Sinclair and John Sheridan and John Michael Straczynski.
Well, can I tell you my opinion on this storyline? It smacks of the stupid storylines that don't have much value. It's like it didn't take up a ton of time, and it basically the only function that I could see is that it served to get Londo in contact with them, which led to this reveal about the Minbari and everything.
Yeah.
But I gotta say,
it was filler. Yeah, we didn't learn anything special.
I gotta say, I thought it was stupid. It was just like they got a little comedy in there, and I'm like, okay, you take a jab. You're taking a jab at Deep Space Nine a little bit. Why would Sheridan care? I mean, there's a bear that's got his name on it. Who cares? I mean, if I'm running Babylon 5 and I'm getting 2 million extra credits a year, I'm like going, yay, right on.
Yeah,
more hookers and coke for the rest of us. Like, what the hell? Take your 2 million credits and be happy. Who cares if there's a bear out there with your initials on it? Come on. I want a Londo doll too. Let them have a Londo doll.
Londo did. He's not. It's not anatomically correct, as he said. Doesn't have all the right attributes, because there was the Centauri girls that were sitting at that table with it, and they were giggling about it. So clearly,
because he didn't have attributes.
Yeah, right. The Ken doll doesn't have all the right attributes either. Who cares?
Yeah. But poor Sheridan, right? This poor teddy bear. He spaced the damn bear. Really?
Yeah, it was stupid. It was
dumb. And then they sent out a fighter. Like how long? How much money it cost to deploy a fighter?
To verify
that there's that Sheridan spaced the bear.
This unidentified object or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, if I was Sheridan, I would have kept that bear and put it in your room. And I mean, like, hey. I mean, you showed up. Hey, you want to see the
especially
this limited edition bear that was made in my likeness?
He really liked it until it had his initials on it, and then he got offended. It's like, that's just moronic. Who gets offended by a teddy bear? I mean,
I thought that was. I agree. I mean, I don't think this was as a joke, right? Like, look how they tried to make fun of me. Even like, you'd be like,
I mentioned before that Peter David has this habit of this kind of cutesy crap sometimes, and Straczynski kind of has moments of that as well. It sucks. I hate it. That's not. It's not serving any good purpose in this. It's not like they needed a comedic break or something. It's just a waste of time.
Who wrote this episode?
Peter David.
Yeah. Yeah. This was not a JMS episode.
No.
It didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
You can almost. I think. I don't know about you, Snob, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I can tell who wrote an episode or who didn't write the episode, at least, based on how it goes. I can tell when it's not.
I often don't pay enough attention to that to sort of like go, hey, wait, because I'm kind of looking at the more general stuff. But maybe I should start going. Hey,
I'm not
making the connections. I think you're probably right that we can start.
You get the feeling.
Yeah, we get the feeling.
You're like,
but
this is not a JMS episode. It's not good enough, or it doesn't have the right vibe or the right feel.
I'm not going to agree with you 100% because I'm not paying enough attention to who wrote it. But maybe I'll start.
I'm not paying attention to who wrote it either. I'm just saying I can get the feel from the good episodes tend to be JMS episodes, and
Umbra's Knives is episode 17, and this is 14, so it's like 3 episodes from now. It's coming up, So and nobody has come out and said that they want to be a guest panelist for that episode. Hint.
Hey, anyway. yeah. If you'd like to, yeah.
Anyway,
let us know.
All right, should we go to summaries or final thoughts, or we got anything else here?
Yeah, have we hit up the merchandising stuff? I'm not.
Yeah, the merchandising. I mean, the masks and the. Your Narn figurines are now available at the gift shop in the Zocalo.
That was mildly, the mask thing. This whole, kind of Mission Impossible 1 sort of mask pulling thing was mildly amusing, but
it was like
I didn't laugh.
Yeah,
the rest of it was kind of like I said.
I grew up next to Disney, man. I worked for Universal. No, no, I've seen that crap everywhere. I grew up with T-shirt shops on every corner. So in the town I grew up in. So
I just think they should have left honestly, they should have left the merchandising thing on there and then used it like in later episodes. They could, throw in a little, a scene in there and then throw in a little, oh, look, there's now a linear doll or, like they could have, just left it out there as another setting that they might use in the future for some laughs or just, little nods to people. But
yeah.
Why get rid of it? Who cares? Like, I don't think Sheridan would really care that much, or he should care.
It was just kind of like, whatever. Yeah. I get T-shirts and baseball caps and stuff like that. Okay, that's cool.
And it's just funny because in our present, military, like in the U.S. military, for example, you guys have the what's it called? We've got it in Canada too, but there, the commander of the base would have sort of very little, say over what goes on in there. I mean, he might make a stink if they were to, start selling something that was offensive or, very offensive or something. He could have some effect, but generally it would be a hands-off thing, right? It would be run
talking about like the AFREs or the any of the what's the one? What's the one you work for, Jeanette?
When you were Canada, a kid, they're called CanX, which is exchange, and PX. It's the PX.
PXBX.
Exchange.
Yeah, PXBX
in the United States, something like that. So it would generally be, they'd be hands off and stuff, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you really only go there if you're already in the military. So
yeah. For sure.
I the only reason I ever went to them is because I was, fixing their stuff, fixing their registers, or doing an install at what was it, McDill, I think, down in Tampa. At any rate,
let's do summary. Unless there's anything, Jeff, do you have any? I don't have anything else I wanted to mention. Jeff, is there anything you want to?
No, I think we covered it. It was kind of like the last scene with the bear hitting the windshield. It's like, well, technically that would be kind of dangerous, because an object hitting an object like that in space could cause damage to the ship. But whatever.
Okay, go ahead. Thoughts on the episode? Last thoughts.
Yeah, it was take it or leave it. Didn't really need it. There was a couple of interesting things in it. Commissary, yeah. It was like, this was mostly for the most part filler. You didn't see a lot of cost. You saw a lot of aliens in it. There was a lot of aliens in this episode, except for Narns. We didn't see too many Narns in this episode, but we saw like a lot of the rest, right? So clearly, I don't know if they just had extra budget money for makeup or what, but overall, you could have not seen this episode, and I don't think you'd miss anything. That's kind of how I felt. I'm gonna give it a 6, maybe a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Cam.
kind of.
Yeah, I've very much of the same mind on that. I'd say a 6. It was. I don't have a particular problem with the way it was performed or anything like that, but the things that meant something to me were the lens situation, kind of popping up there, Londo's interaction with Veer, and then whatever's going on with Kosh and Sheridan. But it's like all of the minor points that came out of the plot are what mean anything, and the main plots really, like Jeff said, you could have just gone on without them, without knowing anything about them.
Yeah.
Again, there's always like Madman's saying here, there's always something that's important, but those important things could have been put in other places just as well. And I'm quite annoyed by that kind of episode. It didn't. I can't say this one annoyed me like some of the first season ones,
Right.
but it probably should. It's just we don't have as many of them here, so
I would say that the reason it doesn't annoy you, I think, is because overall it's better written, and it fits together better. Sorry, did you finish?
Yeah, no, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Cam. And Jeff, you guys basically both said the same thing I'm going to say. The important stuff I liked. I again, Veer and Londo, that's good information. Kosh and Sheridan, good stuff. Seeing Lanier and where he's, his character very strong with his character, and a little bit more of Delin. Seeing something about the Minbari and their society and how it works, all good stuff. But that was very, very small compared to the rest of, the main part of the episode. We're getting these little, it's like we've got this, huge meal, but we're only getting a little bit of the breadcrumbs on the side, which really tastes good. And the rest of it is, the rest of it
Sawdust?
is not, well, it's not sawdust. It's not bad. It's
Okay, it's oatmeal. It's oatmeal.
It's not horrible, like I just sort of suggested. And there are lots of episodes that are much worse. It's generally well written. It fits together. It makes sense. The characters are not acting in a way that are, unreasonable. The acting is good, but it's just sort of not germane to the main storyline that, that I can see at this point. Okay, and PB's making this.
PB's giving us a test here.
He's giving us a little, hint that maybe there's more to this episode in season
three than we noticed.
Okay. But and maybe rightly so. But for now, all I can say is that most of it doesn't seem that germane. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. So I kind of agree with the guys. Rating it, I would because I guess I would probably go. Would I go as high as a 7, 6.57, maybe? Because the stuff is not overall. It's it's fairly well, except for my anger at some of the merchandising stuff. It's generally well written, like I said. It fits together. The acting's good, so maybe I would give it 6.5 to 7. I wouldn't be as harsh because it could have been a lot worse. But
it was a watchable episode. It just was. It was filler. It was.
Yeah, I like the stuff. I really like the stuff where we get some character development. We get a little bit of development of the big story arc that's going on, and we got a little bit in that of that in here, but it was very, very small. So yeah.
All right.
Q2's mentioning, next week. Okay, so if we got that next week, ISN basically the next week's like a news documentary.
Is it presented like that? That'll be interesting.
Yeah, because I watched a little bit of it, and it's presented like that, very much so. I'm curious as to how they do it and if it works. I've seen the first little bit, and it seemed very much as a documentary. But yeah, I've been told
So
by
it's from the perspective of the news crew,
yeah,
as if you were watching a documentary. Not the first time that somebody's done that.
yeah.
I mean,
it'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm curious as to how if they pull it off or not.
Yeah.
But I have some of you in the chat a couple episodes ago, basically when we were 10 episodes left, said, we got 10 episodes left. 5 of them are really good, and 5 of them are, not as good. I think this is probably one of the not as good episodes, but yeah.
Yeah. I'd buy that. I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah. All right.
And the merchandising thing was funny, yeah, but it's a filler episode. But we'll see. We'll see if PB's right.
So
yes,
PB,
you like the
PB
great yogurt.
disagrees. So 8 to 10, maybe 9, but I can't explain about spoilers. All right.
Wow.
Well, Cam has said Cam has seen the entire thing. He doesn't seem to agree, but unless he's lying to us to lure us into a false sense of security. But yeah, all right. PB says 8 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10. Q2 says 8 out of 10, and Q2, wow. I believe you've seen the whole season.
Yeah, he's seen everything like 16 times. Yeah. He's a guru at this.
He's fairly knowledgeable about the rest of it as well. So, yeah,
he makes Cam look the way Cam makes us look, Snob.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Something tells me PB might be the same way.
Yeah. So, all right. So, well, we'll see. Okay. Trivia questions. We got to do trivia questions.
Oh, got to do trivia.
First trivia questions. All right. Let's go to our trivia questions. Let me just take the chat off. Sorry, chat.
Bye-bye. No.
You're still there. Just I take you off the main screen. And let's go with the questions for, I think you might have answered some of these. Welcome to Babylon 5, the last best hope for a blank. Fill in the blanks. The souvenir shop is selling masks of different aliens. What alien is wearing a human mask? I think we answered that. Who experiences their first hangover? I think we kind of mentioned that.
Yeah,
what is the name of the lawyer sent to help Sheridan? We know it's the old Natoth, but they mentioned her name, but I don't think we mentioned her name. Who said the Minbari don't lie? Oh, never mind. Good day. That's pretty. I think that might be pretty easy. You might be able to get that one fairly easy. I think we mentioned it, or at least hinted at it at the very least.
We did.
But those are the questions for next week, and we'll give you the answers back then. What else? Jeff, what do you got going on? Anything on your channel? I mean, I don't mean, in your.
Oh, you don't want my life story?
No, we don't want your life story. This is like guest promo.
I've been like
promo.
redoing. I moved my screen down here in the. Oh, you don't want that?
No. I don't want to know about you redecorating your bathroom or
no,
if you went to Costco or something like that.
No, Costco's too far to drive. I'd go to BJ's instead.
Okay.
BJ's is closer. But
don't want to know.
no, I did put up a video. Actually, Jeanette and I did it on the Ham Radio Rejects channel. If you want to see, audio is not perfect because 2 different kinds of mics. But if anybody wants to check out, here's my channel. One of my channels. This is my Ham Radio channel. Here's my Ham Radio channel.
So Jeff has a channel. It's about ham radio. If you're interested,
I do.
In that.
Yeah, I have another one too. With that, I don't have anything current on that one. So, but yep, we opened a couple of mystery boxes from Gigaparts from the Ham Fest. Well, anyway, check it out. Let me know. I know. I'm sorry about the audio, but what else is going on? Still trying to get some stuff together for Jason's channel. For him. I'm waiting to hear, back on one other guy and hoping to put together a panel type thing for a special episode that will be tabletop. Well, kind of tabletop related, but also publishing related. So kind of interesting thing. So stay tuned for that one. I'm sure Jason's got some other stuff going on. Don't know what to pimp for him. Do you know, Kim? No.
No. Oh well, he's got Paul.
He's got a show tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow or an upcoming show with Paul talking about movie stuff?
Paul Garabedian. Yeah,
Garabedian.
Yeah. I can't ever say his name.
And Q2 is working on next week's videos apparently too.
Yeah. I might put his.
Check out his channel. Jeff, do you want to drop a link to Jason's channel? Jason, one of our regular panelists, couldn't make the show tonight, but he's normally here, and he runs Sci-Fi for Me TV. Does a show usually about three on the average, 3 shows a week, 3, 4 sometimes.
Sometimes 5
in the afternoon. Talks about science fiction related stuff, a lot more current events type stuff than we do.
Yep. 1 p.m. Eastern daily.
And he's got a stable of guests that he brings on to talk about different things every once in a while. Some pretty good guests, regulars that know about the movie industry or whatever industries that are going on. Yeah, check it out. Cam.
Well, on Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern, we have the Top Lofty Lounge, which we mentioned we are going to be looking at Dragon Slayer this week. Not sci-fi really, but considered by many to be a classic.
I like it.
Well, there you go. I don't remember if I've seen it. It's been a long time ago, so it's going to be a refresher at least for me. And then we might have a short tool segment. And just kind of an upcoming thing. I bought a new sci-fi role-playing game today that I'm kind of perusing. I won't have a chance to play it, but I could maybe.
Are you running it?
Not yet. Well, I might be solo running it. Because
is it a solo game?
It has a solo mode to it. So.
Oh no. I will have to talk sometime about solo. I don't
think it's ideal. It's but it might give me a chance to try out the mechanic at least and see
check the lore and all that.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. So I'll probably talk a little bit about the lore and everything once I've read it coming up. But that's about it.
All right. Yeah. Great. So coming up next week on this show, we're going to be talking about And Now for a Word, which is a stylized, set as a sort of a news documentary on Babylon 5. I don't know.
It's like The Office.
The Office, yeah. I don't know how it's going to be. We got to check it out and see how it goes.
I don't like The Office.
Come back next week for that. As Cam mentioned, we have the movie night coming up. So movie night, we have it about once a month, roughly, once every 4 weeks or so. We pick an old usually sci-fi related, but sometimes fantasy related movies. We've done, what did we do? Excalibur before. We watch the movie beforehand. We follow a link, Internet Archive or somewhere, watch the movie beforehand, and then come in the chat and discuss it with us while we talk about whether it's good or not, or what we like about it. Now, I've been recently perusing the other movies, and I've got 2 other movies I want to do for the next couple movie nights, Cam. I think they should be pretty good. I don't know if I should I mention them?
Sure.
The one of them, I think we want to do Flash Gordon. That'd be pretty good. Not Flash Gordon.
Save every one of us.
Not Flash Gordon. Don't make that mistake. I made that mistake. Flash Gordon.
You would make that one.
And when you have both the links available.
Yeah, and then the other one is the Roger Corman Star Wars
homage.
Similar.
Let's say homage.
Homage. And I'm not sure which one we should do. I mean, I think they'd both be good, which is called Battle Beyond the Stars. So I'm not sure. Maybe we should put it in the vote in the Discord as to which one we should do afterwards. But I think we're going to do them both. So it's just like one or the other, because I think they'd both be good choices.
I have the honor of having seen Battle Beyond the Stars in the theater.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
I have not seen Battle Beyond the Stars at all. I have seen. I think I saw Flash Gordon.
Oh, I saw that in the theater twice.
Sometime. I don't know if I can't remember. But,
In the theater twice? Really?
Yep.
I'm trying to think if I don't remember seeing it in theater. I think I did, but I've seen it many, many times on,
Yeah, it's been on. I don't think
edited
so
for
either, but
to fit on your screen.
Oh,
right.
I'm sorry.
TBS or whatever.
Umbris was asking. It's
I have that.
it's Coriolis the Great Darkness or the Great Darkening. I think it is.
Yeah.
It's by Free League Publishing.
Well, somebody
Cam
said,
mentioned it to me, and I Googled it, and it comes up right away. And it looks interesting. It looks pretty interesting.
oh, okay. I see now. I thought Umbris was talking about Dragon Slayer, the TTRPG, which I do have by Greg Gillespie,
I think he was talking
creator of Borrow Maze.
Yeah, I think he was talking about the thing.
No, it's an OSR thing. So
Yeah. All right. Okay. That's it for the show. Everyone, like, subscribe. We appreciate all that. We're up to 625, I think. Last time I checked. So we're inching up slowly.
I shared, right?
Yeah. Anything you guys can do, to help, you want to post it on X or wherever your socials. We appreciate that. Even if comment on the show afterwards, it helps it with the algorithm, helps us get out there. More people, we're trying to get our stuff out, and to people who appreciate it. It's nice to be seen, and people, if people like it, they come and watch it. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate all the chat comments as well.
Oh yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you.
A big thing about the show is we like, we're designed as to be sort of a bunch of guys around the water cooler talking about something, and we include the chat within that. So
I always thought it was like the middle school nerd lunch table where we were trying not to get beat up by the
you could say that
cool
too,
guys.
If you want to be more sophisticated, you could so we appreciate you guys in the chat saying your stuff, and I like to highlight what goes on in there and bring it into discussion, of course, because that's why we do the show, right? So that we can talk about all these things, and it includes the people in chat, not just us. All right.
I'm such a bad regular host. I didn't repost on Twitter. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. So I shared. Go back and watch it if you haven't watched it.
So all right. So thanks everybody for coming out. And if you like fish, thanks for all the fish. We'll see you next week or hopefully on Sunday. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.